Game 1 of BLG vs JDG, the LPL second seed tried to take a leaf out of the LCK second seed's book with the level 1 Scion Gs. However, due to on-pathing mid lane quickly to help Yugao, Ruler and Missing were able to get enough control of the wave to deny the level 1 crash, and Bin was forced to TP back to top lane with empty hands. A few minutes later, JDG set up a stacking wave of their own, and even though Shun, Yugao and Missing were just too slow to cover the dive in time, Elk managed to get a kill back onto Kanavi. Now that Elk had no flash, however, it was a trivial affair to kill him later, as a simple flash fillet from Missing would get the job done, snowballing Ruler even further. This investment into the Aphelios would pay dividends around the Herald fight, as even in a 4v5, BLG did not get onto Ruler, and he shredded them all to pieces after stacking up a ridiculous number of chakrams. After taking such a convincing teamfight, Kanavi was feeling a bit too confident, overcommitting for the Lulu before Ruler was in range, resulting in his death and the shutdown onto the Aphelios. JDG then calmed down, avoiding skirmishes until the second Herald spawned, where history would repeat itself as once again BLG focused Kanavi instead of Ruler, and the king of AD carries punished them for it. By the time the third dragon came around, I was convinced we were just watching the same teamfight on repeat, as once again Ruler was untouched, and although it did take a while to cut through Bin, he had all the time in the world thanks to Knight distracting the rest of BLG on the other side of the fight. Once the Scion was felled, everyone else was sure to follow, as Missing's hook meant not a single member survived. Bin tried to find a Hail Mary flank, but it wasn't even close as he was swiftly dealt with before JDG retreated to pick up the Baron. JDG turned BLG into prisoners of their own base, where not even the Fountain was safe, padding some stats before ending the game. If stop Ruler from getting fed was the plan in Game 2, it failed almost instantly, as On didn't respect the Jinx Braum early kill pressure. The writers couldn't even be bothered to come up with a new script for Game 2, as the first Herald would once again be the bane of BLG, as they gave over 2 more kills fighting over the objective. Then in a miraculous turn of events, BLG actually managed to take down Ruler after a good flash engage from On was followed up by the assault on Battery, allowing Bin's Fiora to pick up the kill, along with another on Kanavi. At 23 minutes, BLG found another great fight when Bin used his teleport to flank JDG as they sieged mid tower, and even though he was unable to kill Ruler, he forced him to back far enough away from the fight that he was out of DPS range, and his teammates took kills onto 369 and Knight, before then coming to help him take down Ruler and Missing, which bagged them the Baron. BLG weren't really able to get too much with the Baron, however, as a close teamfight bot lane resulted in no kills, and BLG had to back off licking their wounds. Then around the next Baron, JDG returned to teamfight dominance. Shun altered Ruler once more, but this time Bin was nowhere near in range, and Kanavi stopped Yugao from being able to follow up. As a Radiant Virtue Vi, Shun could not take the Jinx down alone, and had to bail, but that meant Ruler was free to rain hell on his teammates, and JDG took 4 for the price of 1. The final fight started off promisingly for BLG, with a good chunk onto Knight and Bin getting some alone time with the JDG frontline, taking Kanavi insanely low. But the Maokai would buy so much time and space with his ult, flash, and W, giving Ruler everything he needed to take over once again, and bring JDG to a 2-0 lead over their LPL counterparts. In Game 3, Operation Don't Get Completely Blasted bot lane got off to a much better start, as a nice hook from On claimed first blood for the BLG support. But such dreams can only last for so long, and at 9 minutes, thanks to a gank from Kanavi, the Ruler train got underway once more. Both teams would continue to trade blow for blow, with Kanavi spoon-feeding Ruler another kill before Yugao and Shun would trade one back onto Knight. At 16 minutes, BLG arrived at the Dragon with a 2k gold lead and quickly took care of Kanavi, but now with the Nautilus R on cooldown, Ruler knew he could step up freely, as he could cleanse away any remaining CC that could be thrown at him, once again cleaving his way through the ranks of BLG. It went from bad to worse for BLG 2 minutes later. Ruler jumped face first into a Nidalee Spear that took away 50% of his HP, but after taking down On, he managed to escape to the safety of his team. Bin teleported in, and BLG felt like this was an opportunity they could not afford to squander, as Yugao looped around for the flank. Shun chased too quickly and got blown up. Nautilus managed to hook Zeri, and with no summoners left, it seemed like Ruler would fall once Jax got on top of him. But somehow it was not to be, and JDG swept the fight 5-0. JDG were completely unstoppable, and started the Baron to force BLG to fight them. After another massive spear took Knight under half health, he hid in the Baron pit, not realizing that Bin would come over the wall to finish him off. The CC from Yugao and Bin stopped JDG from bursting the Baron, giving Shun the time he needed to get into the pit for the steal, and then BLG took the fight as well. Unfortunately for BLG, they would once again be unable to get the most out of the Baron, as Elk got caught off guard by a nice combo from 369. Once the buff timed out for the rest of the BLG members, JDG returned to business as usual with immaculate teamfighting. Kanavi got picked off trying to fight for positioning around the Baron, but the remaining members of JDG did not back down from the 4v5. Ruler danced perfectly on the edge of BLG's range, sidestepping every hook that was thrown his way until eventually one connected, but it was immediately McHale's by Missing. Yugao managed to find Knight, but a good Zhonya's dodged the Moonlight Vigil, and 369 stepped up to tank the hook from On. 369 was now the one in trouble, but Knight returned the favour as a perfect scatter the weak cancelled Bin's leap strike. Both teams then redrew their battle lines before Bin jumped forwards once more. Yugao found Ruler again, but another scatter the weak denied any follow-up, and Bin was forced to Zhonya's. Bin's jump got cancelled again, this time by 369, as he ulted him out of the air to separate him from his team and finish him off. Yugao and 369 were both soon to follow, and JDG closed out the fight and claimed the Baron as their prize. As they were ending the game, Ruler made what might have been his only mistake of the series, stepping up too far to hit the tower, and Yugao made him pay for it with his life. The fight was was still not easy for BLG, as Knight was also very fed on the Syndra, taking a triple kill before he and Missing then fell to Bin and Elk. This bought BLG one more chance to teamfight around the Nash. Shun somehow managed to get into the pit and steal the objective again, but the fight went to JDG, as even though Ruler got bounce housed, the damage was simply not there to take him down, and JDG knocked BLG into the lower bracket. Thank God that was a 3-0, or that would have taken me an exceedingly long time, and I've still got to watch Cloud9 vs Golden Guardians. Thankfully there's a break day on Monday, so when I upload that on Monday, I'll be all caught up and ready for the final week.